where we talk all things footy. If you could hit that 3-punch combination by liking, subscribing and commenting down below. Thank you very much if you are listening right now, and enjoy the pod. Good evening, people. Welcome back to Jaymie Waffles Footy. So basically, I'm here today, people, to do a road to the Euros final. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up on my screen now. I'm going to pull up the Euro predictor. So let's pull it up over here. Bear with me 2 seconds, people. Here we have it. I hope everyone is having a good evening. And remember to hit that 3-punch combination. So bam, 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 by liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. So here we have it. So we have Spain, Georgia, Germany, Denmark, Portugal, Slovenia, France, Belgium, Romania, Netherlands, Austria, Turkey, England, and Slovakia, and Italy. So let's move on over. Let me pull this up on the other screen because my name is covering the rest of the things. Here we go. Let me see. So here we have it, people. I'm going to pull it up on here so I can go through it. So the first tie would be Spain versus Georgia. And Georgia have done very, very well, obviously, beating Portugal yesterday evening. And as we know that Spain have done very well themselves, progressing, looking very comfortable throughout the group. And I'm thinking with this one, it's looking more like a Spain win, but I'm hoping there would be an underdog performance here, but I can't really see it happening. With Portugal yesterday putting out really a second string squad, Georgia went and beat them 2-0. So they progressed through. I'm going to go with a Spain win over Georgia. So this is on Paddy Power if people want to go and check it out. Then moving on over to Germany versus Denmark. Obviously, Denmark was in England's group. Germany are looking very, very, very strong, people. I'm thinking they're my favourites at the moment to win this whole competition with Kai Havertz, Jamal Musiala, Florian Wirtz. They're very, very strong. They're looking very, very strong on their home turf. So with this game, I can only really see it going one way. But anything can happen, lads. It's football at the end of the day. But I think I'm going to go for a Germany win. So that would leave with Spain and Germany. I'll give you my score predictions as well on top of that. So with Spain and Georgia, I am going to go with a 3-1 win for Spain. And I think they will do that quite comfortably. Whereas I think with Germany and Denmark, it's going to be a really, really tight, cagey affair. And I'm going to have my prediction of a 2-1 win for Germany. And I think it might be the latter stages of the game. Moving on over to Portugal versus Slovenia. I think this one, there could be an upset maybe. Portugal on paper are a very, very strong side. Obviously, with the forwards they have at their disposal, they have Cristiano Ronaldo, they have Diego Jota, they have Bernardo Silva, they have Gonzalo Ramos. They've got so much quality and depth, and even in the midfield with Joao Neves, they're just leaking and leaking absolute bags and bags of talent, and even their keeper Diogo Costa. They've got the old school Nicolas Pepe, where if you plus Cristiano Ronaldo and Pepe's age, they're actually is a combined age of 80 years old. Sorry, people, but I do think this will be a really, really close game. I'm thinking my prediction for this one with Portugal versus Slovenia, it could be a 1-1 draw in 90 minutes, and I think that Portugal will score in extra time. I don't think it will go to penalties, but I do think Slovenia may take them all away. We found out when we watched England versus Slovenia. Slovenia are a very good side with the likes of Benjamin Sesko up the top. And they even brought on Ilicic, who obviously used to play for Atalanta. But I do think it'll be a cagey affair. and I'm thinking 1-1, and then extra time Portugal will progress. Moving on over to probably the tie of this round of 16, we have France versus Belgium. Both teams are not looking really great at the moment. With France looking like they struggled. They struggled in the group really. They ended up coming in second place with obviously Austria winning the group. With this one, my score prediction. Oh, this is a really tight one, people. I'm going to go. Will France? Because the thing with France, people, in the group stages with France, they always start off slow. And then when it comes to the knockout rounds, they end up turning out to be like Man City, where they just hit another gear like that, they click, and they just turn into a Man City. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. And with Belgium, Lukaku is not performing well going into this. He had scored 16 goals in the qualification. So I was expecting Belgium to do quite well, but then at the same time, Belgium they 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 do struggle in a lot of big tournaments. We always expect them to do really well, and they end up flopping. Just to be honest with you, people. Remember the golden generation with the likes of Vincent Company, and you obviously had KDB, which is coming out of his prime really now. They were blessed with so much talent. Eden Hazard, and they just never really got anywhere, people. So I'm going to go with a France win leading into the round of 16. No, we're leading into the quarterfinals. So now we have Romania versus Netherlands. Romania. How well they did in their group. Romania have surprised many people in this tournament, and big kudos to Romania. Netherlands looked bright at the start, and then kind of withered away towards the end. With this one here, oh, could Romania cause an upset? I really don't think so, people. I think that Netherlands will go through. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for the Netherlands, and Netherlands will progress to the quarterfinals. Next up, a really juicy tie as well with Austria versus Turkey, where I think this is. I know I said France and Belgium probably the tie of the round, but this is a close second, Austria versus Turkey. I think this will be a very high scoring game. Austria obviously topping the group, and obviously if you listen to my previous pods with Sparks, we had Kev on there, what we call Super Kev. Um, I argued with the both of them, saying that I think that Austria would progress through this group, and they both told me Poland. So when we did our predictions, we had to go with Poland, but I was insistent on it being Austria, and I was completely justified. Austria actually topped the group. I didn't expect that, but I expected Austria to go through. But with this one, I think it'll be a high scoring game, and Turkey. They've done quite well, reasonably well. They've done well, but I don't. I think Austria will be way too strong for them, and I am going for a 3-2 Austria win. A really high scoring game, people. A really high scoring game, people. Moving on over to England versus Slovakia, our home country. I think this will be a tight game as well. I know I've said that for most of them, but at this stage, they are going to be tight games. And England, they need to step into form. Basically, people, it's becoming everyone's becoming really negative towards the England squad, and I think the group stage needs to be put behind us. We need to move on, and then get behind the boys, back the boys. At the end of the day, that's what we really need to do. And I can only see an England win. Well, I'm hoping it's an England win, but looking at the teams, looking at the form, England ain't been in the greatest of form, but we should be able to beat this Slovakia side. Um, with all these teams, there's no longer. I know people keep saying the big teams, the likes of Spain, Germany, Portugal, France, England, Italy, Netherlands. Every one of these other teams like Romania, Turkey, Slovakia, Slovenia, they all have players that play at the top level. So just for example, Slovenia, they had Benjamin Sesko. All these teams, what we call the so-called lesser teams, they have big players. Georgia, Karbalashvili, I don't know if I butchered his name, but there's just so many that you can reel off. And I think that a lot of us fans, England fans especially, we're underrating these teams like the likes of Serbia also, where I thought that Serbia would be a really, really hard tie. And what people need to realise is that we just need to get behind them, and then we've ended up on the better end of the draw. I'm not going to say the easy side of the draw, because there's no side of the draw is going to be easy, but we've ended up on the better side of the draw. We've got a better bracket, as you would say. But I do think that England will win this one. I'm going to go for a 1-0 England win. Moving on over to Switzerland versus Italy. This one is going to be a really, really good game. Italy looking comfortable, and Switzerland, I think they've surprised a lot of people. Also, they've got a very, very good team. Switzerland, the likes of Akanji, they've got Kobel in goal. They've also got another keeper in Jan Sommer. And Doy's looked really, really well for them. He's hitting top speeds. I think he was the third fastest player in the group stage. But this is a hard one to pick. I think this one will go 1-1 until extra time. And then extra time, there'll be no goals. And I think this will go to a penalty shootout. And I'm backing the Swiss to go through in this. I am. I'm going to go for the Swiss to beat Italy in extra time. So the quarterfinals we have here, people, are Spain, Germany, Portugal, France, Netherlands, Austria, and England versus Switzerland. Let me know in the comments, just while we've got through the round of 16 all the way up to the quarterfinals, if people could let me know what they think in the comments down below by what I am going by. I'm just going to come over to the chat just while we're pausing here. We've got Adam Brand in the chat who's put up, nice Jay. Welcome in, Adam Brand Sports. Absolutely lovely, lovely person. If people want to go check out his YouTube, it is there, adam.brandsports. And then we have another comment from Ben, who's put, think Belgium could shock France and Switzerland beat Italy, which I'm hoping for. And for us to go through, we need to play much better, because we have been shocking. I completely agree with you, Ben. We've been absolutely shocking. We haven't looked. We looked very, very passive. We've in that first game, we went 1-0 up, and from the 15th minute, our average position, apart from Bukayo Saka, who was about 30 yards out, was parked in our own area, which was a massive, massive struggle. And this is why a lot of the England fans are being negative. But I'm going to move on over. Thank you for your lovely comments, Ben and Adam. I'm going to move on over to the quarterfinals, and then I will come back to the comments. So moving on to the quarterfinals is Spain versus Germany. What a tie. What a tie. Everyone is between myself and my TikTok live and a lot of people I speak to in the football world, the football pyramid, whatever you want to call it. These two are people's favourites, because France ain't been playing well. Portugal ain't been looking too good. Everyone is saying it's either Spain or Germany, but I can only see this going one way, and that is to Germany. I think that they'll be too strong for them. I know Spain are looking good with Lamine Yamal. They've got so many good players like Rodri. Both teams have got absolutely exceptional talent. Florian Wirtz, Jamal Musiala, Kai Havertz, Gundogan. They've got so many good. They've got their keepers. The keepers that Germany have took is Manuel Neuer, ter Stegen. They've got Bernd Leno. They've got such a good squad, and I can only see it going one way. I'm going for that one with Germany versus Spain. I am going for a comprehensive 3-1 Germany win. Now, this one here, people, this one here, France versus Portugal. What a tie this would be. I would look for, out of all these fixtures here, that is the one tie I would really, really look forward to. I think they both would go gung-ho at each other. France with Kylian Mbappe, Portugal with CR7. What a tie for the ages. I really don't know which way this would go. Defensively, France have been very, very strong, only conceding one goal in the group stage. It could go either way with this tie, people. It could be an absolute banger where it's 4-3, 3-2 along them lines, or it could be a really, really tight game where one team get one goal and then just relax and just sit back and park the bus. I'm just gonna have a quick sip of this. Sorry, people. So, Portugal versus France. I think I'm going to go with a France 1-0 win. I know it might sound like an absolute madness to people because it's two very, very attacking sides, got some great quality threat in the forward line, but I will go with a France 1-0 win. But that's because their solidity in the defence is very, very good with the likes of William Saliba, Upamecano, Konate, Theo Hernandez. They've got Klaus at right back. They've got a really, really strong structure in the defence with N'Golo Kante covering, playing that CDM role still at his age. I think he's 34 years old now. But yeah, France to win 1-0. So moving on over to Netherlands versus Austria. And I could see an upset happening here. People, I really, really could see an upset here. I think that Austria will knock out the Netherlands. And that's what I'm going with. I think that Austria will turn up on the day and they will surprise the Netherlands. And they're not going to expect it. I think that Austria will get a goal. And then Netherlands will probably get one back. And then Austria will score towards the latter end of the game. I think that's going to be a 2-1 Austria win. And if you're watching this now, people on playback, because obviously this is live as I'm speaking right now, remember to hit that 3-punch combination. So bam, 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 by liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. It doesn't cost anything. So like and comment and subscribe for the boy. Moving on over to England versus Switzerland. And I know I've been hyping up Switzerland. And I don't know how I feel about this one. I think it's whether to go with what I'm actually thinking, where it could be a draw, extra time, and penalties. And we all know what England are like on penalties. I think this could be a 0-0 draw all the way to penalties. And you know what, people? I'm going to put England through on penalties. I'm going to put England through. I think that'll be 0-0 all the way for 120 minutes until the penalty shootout, and England will make up for the previous penalty shootouts against Italy at the last Euros. I'm going to come over to the restream now and see if anyone else has commented. Ben Port has commented. I'm going to pull up his comment right now. So he's put, if it's France versus Portugal, I'm saying 2-2 and Portugal to win on penalties, but it could go either way. Are you, Ben? Are you agreeing with kind of what I've put here, mate? It really could go either way. It could either be an absolute cracking tie, or it could be just really, really low block FC kind of thing, because both teams don't want to get absolutely dominated. So I think it could go either way. And he's put up another comment here, people. Thank you for your love and support, Ben Port. So Ben has put Austria beat Netherlands 3-2 in the group. So it could happen, bro. Yeah, I completely agree, mate. I completely agree. I think that Austria could get all the way to the semi-finals with England. But this is where it really, really starts to get juicy. I'm getting excited just even thinking about it, lads. Just even thinking about it. Let me know your predictions down below, people, in the comments. So moving on over, thank you for your kind comments as well, Ben. Thank you for tuning in with Jaymie Waffles Footy. Moving on over to the semi-finals, we have Germany versus France, people. Germany versus France. And this is going to be an absolute madness. This game would be an absolute madness. Kylian Mbappe versus Kai Havertz. I know Kai Havertz is nowhere near Kylian Mbappe. I'm saying that as an Arsenal fan, but I think Germany on home soil could do the business over France. And I'm thinking they're looking a lot stronger than what France are. So I am going with a 1-0 win to the Germans. So Germany will progress to the Euros final. And that brings me on over to Austria and England. And this is a really, really hard one. George, I'm going to pull your comment up now. Hello, George. How are you, mate? He's just put a comment in saying, yo, that is George Hinchcliffe. I don't want to butcher your name, brother. I think it's Hinchkey. But he comes in over my TikTok lives quite often. So welcome in, George. Enjoy the pod, my brother. I'm doing very, very well, mate. I'm doing very, very well. I'm just plugging along on a pod by myself. AGM was a bit busy tonight, so I've come on over by myself just to do a little road to the final Euros knockout. Moving on over, if people want to let me know in their comments in here what they think this semi-finals will go like, or the finals. I don't mind you just commenting the whole way through while I'm talking and going, just say the first part where I talked about Spain versus Georgia. If you go, I think Spain will go through, I think Portugal, you can work along with me in the comment, people. Ben Porter's put, yeah, I agree, there'll be loads of goals because they will both need to be attacking. Yeah, exactly right. That's what I mean, mate. I think it could really, really go either way, and it's just so exciting. When it comes to the knockout stages at the Euros, all the teams are so evenly matched. It's just it can either go either way. It can be loads of goals, or it could just be an actual snore fest because they're both just as good as each other. So moving on over to England's semi-final, people, the big, big, big one. Let me know your score predictions down below if this actually did happen in the semi-finals. So Austria versus England. Where do I go with this one? And I know people are going to be watching this back later on in the pod and go, Jamie, you're deluded, putting England in a semi-final, but I'm going to be even more deluded. And I'm going to say England will progress and beat Austria in extra time. I think this will be 1-1, and then England will score in extra time to make it 2-1, progressing England and Germany to the Euros final. Let me know your comments, what you're thinking. If you're going to call me deluded Jay Gunner, or you're going to say, no wonder he's called Jaymie Waffles Footy, because it's all so true. George is waiting in anticipation. Is it coming home? That's where I'm going to answer the question. George, you let me know what you think a Germany versus England final will turn out. I am going to say, people, oh, what am I going to say? I don't even really know myself. I'm going to say Germany win the final. That's what I'm going to say. It's going to be another heartbreak for England in the Euros final. Germany on home turf. I could really only see it going one way. And I think that would be a 2-0 Germany win in the Euros final. So there you have it, people. George has put in the comment as well. Also, I think Germany, unfortunately, as well. I think they break the curse. Yeah. I also think this. People, let me know what you think down below. Remember to hit that free punch combination by liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. But I've gone for a Germany win. So Germany to win the Euros final. And it'd be such a painful one, but I'd be so happy for England to get all the way to the final. I think now with this bracket, that we need at least a minimum of the semi-finals. We need to get behind these players. We need to support them because we can't change nothing now. Whoever Southgate puts out, we cannot change. We can't change that. It's happened. I know people are going, we should have took Branthwaite. We should have done this. We should have done that. No, that's done. That's in the past now. The group stages are in the past. That's when we move on now, people. We move on. We back our players because at the end of the day, whether you are Southgate in or you're Southgate out, whether I am or whether I'm Southgate in or Southgate out, ultimately, I love England more than my hatred for Southgate. So I want England to do well no matter what. And that's what makes me pull up Ben Port's comment. And Ben Port has put, I don't know why, but I'm trying to stay positive. Me too, mate. Me too. I'm completely trying to stay positive. And that's because we're in the round of 16. We're in a positive position where going by what I've put on here, lads, it's not going to let me come back off it now. But going by what I've put on here, we have an easy, well, not an easy, but a much easier draw than what the other side of the bracket would be. And George Hinckley has put, I bleed for this country, which I do as well. I'm a massive England fan. Ultimately, I'm a Gooner, but I'm an England fan as well. So I'm going to leave it there, people. I've been on for 25 minutes all by my lonesome. So, people, remember to hit that free punch combination by liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. So, ultimately, I think that Germany will win the Euros. And I think that England will make the final, but it will be commiserations for us where we will end up losing 2-0 in the final to Germany. I want to touch on one more thing just before I go, people, and that is mental health awareness. Please check in on a loved one a friend, a family member, whoever today. Like I always say, if you're listening to me now, you're on the bus, you're on the public transport or anything, take your headphone out, say hello, how are you to the person next to you. Just checking on someone today, people, because people out there are struggling, and mental health is a killer at the end of the day, especially for men. Men are told to grow some balls in that certain terms. Pull up your shorts. That's it. Like, you should just take it. You're a man. You can't speak about these things when we should be able to speak about these things. So my DMs are always open, and mental health awareness is so important. Um, George has put, what time will I be on TikTok live tomorrow? I will be on TikTok live about 6:30 tomorrow, my brother. I'm going over to see Emily, so I'll be on my way over there to her. And then George has also put, being there, scary, daunting place, because it can be, people. You feel like you're in a corner and there's no way out, but there is always a way out. So, on a more positive matter, I have been Jaymie Waffles Footy, also known as J Gunner 17. Thank you so much for you if you're watching right now, and please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And peace, and stay blessed.